Although Vita Health Group provided this exercise class provisional with your health and safety in mind, each individual participant has their own limitations and should consult their general practitioner or an appropriate medical professional prior to undertaking the class. Should you be prone to injury, are currently pregnant, or be managing any functional limiting medical conditions, please seek medical confirmation prior to participating. At all times, ensure you follow all instructions provided by Vita Health Groups throughout the entirety of the recording. Should you experience any symptoms of dizziness, nausea, or increased pain at any point during your participation, please stop and seek the appropriate advice from your general practitioner or the 111 service.
Hello and welcome to today's class. My name's Danny and I'm going to be your instructor for today. This class is our beginners stretch and flex class, so it's designed for people who are looking to improve their flexibility and mobility. We're going to be stretching from head to toe. There's going to be a list on screen of all the equipment you need for this class, so just grab a bottle of water and we'll get started with our warm-up. Let's get started with our warm-up then. So with this warm-up, we're aiming to increase our heart rate, activate the muscles, increase mobility, all ready for our exercise class that's coming up. So we're going to start off nice and simple with just some marching on the spot. We're going to be doing this for 1 minute. Do it at your own pace, whether you want to go nice and slow or quite fast, completely up to you. Fab, let's get going for 1 minute then. Make sure we're swinging those arms, lifting the feet nice and high whilst we're marching. Remember, we're working to increase that heart rate, so just taking it at your own pace. That's great, keep swinging those arms, lifting those knees nice and high. And we are nearly halfway there. Great. Again, taking it at your own pace, just as we start the warm-up. Okay, 10 more seconds. Great, and bring that down to a stop. Brilliant. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're just going to do some jogging on the spot this time. We're only going to go for 30 seconds this time. Again, doing it at your own pace. Just make sure that you've got a nice, safe environment around you. Okay, when we're ready, off we go. Again, make sure we're moving those arms and lifting those feet nice and high off the floor. That's it, halfway there. Good, 5 seconds left. And bring it down to a stop. Brilliant. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to do some hip circles. So for this one, I want your feet sort of shoulder width apart on the floor and the hands just resting on your hips. We're going to start off with very small circles. So we're going to sort of push the hips to one side, bring them round to the front and round to the back. Again, just do them at your own pace, and also with the circle, just make it as small or as big as you can, depending on how you're feeling. We're going to go for 30 seconds. When we're ready, off we go. That's it. So just make sure we're concentrating on really pushing those hips all the way around the movement. That's good. And because we're coming up to halfway, we're going to switch and go in the opposite direction. Again, like I said, if you need to do small circles with how you're feeling at the moment, that's absolutely fine. Or nice and big circles, doesn't matter. Great, and come to a stop. Okay, for the next exercise, we're going to go into doing some leg swings. For this one, I'm going to do it just freestanding, but if you need to, you can hold onto a wall, hold onto the back of a chair, whichever works best for you. We're going to start off with our right leg. So again, like I said, holding onto something for stability if needs be. We're going to go for 30 seconds. We're just going to lift the leg out in front of us and then slowly lift behind. Okay, off we go. So just swinging that leg at your own pace. Like I said, if you need to hold on to something, then that's absolutely fine. Good. That's great, keeping the knee nice and straight. Just swinging back and forwards. So we've got 5 seconds left on this leg, and then we'll switch over. Great, okay. So if you need to swing the chair around to the other side or reposition yourself so that you can hold onto the wall the opposite way, that's fine. And then we'll go for 30 seconds again. So on the left leg this time, swinging back and forth. That's great. Again, just doing it at your own pace, lifting the leg in a range of movement that's comfortable for you. Good. Okay, 10 seconds left on this leg. Great, and come to a stop, just back into our resting position. So the next activity that we're going to do is going to be with our arms. We're going to go for some arm circles. So what we'll do, we'll start off with our right arm because we started with our right leg. We'll pop our hand out to the side, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with some circles, just going backwards like this. If you need to do the circles nice and small, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, if you can, then we're going to do nice big circles with the arm. Again, just do whatever feels comfortable for you at the moment. And again, we're going to go for 30 seconds. That's it. Like I said, make sure we're doing this one in a comfortable range of movement. It can be as small or as big as you need at the moment. That's great, we've done 15 seconds on this arm. That's great, last 5 seconds. Brilliant, okay. And this time we're going to do the exact same on the left arm. So again, arm out to the side, you can do small circles if you need to, obviously big ones if you can as well. Fab, off we go, 30 seconds on this one. That's great. Again, just going at the speed that sort of works for you at the moment. If you need to move nice and slowly through this movement, that's fine. Obviously, if you can, then obviously we'll go a bit quicker. That's great, and just 5 more seconds. Perfect, okay. Last exercise of our warm-up, we're going to do some movements with our spine. So we're going to work in 4 different directions. We're going to go for a forward movement, a backwards movement, and then side to side as well. So what I'll do first is I'll show you what we're going to do, and then I'll explain how many we're going to do after that. So we're going to have the feet shoulder width apart again. For the forwards movement, I'd like you to have your hands resting on the front of your legs. And then what I want you to do nice and slowly is just come down as far as you can until you start to feel that bit of a stretch in the lower back, and then return up to your neutral position. Then we'll go for the opposite. So this time I'll turn to the side to show you, you're going to lean backwards. Again, just a gentle movement, and back up to the neutral position. Then hands down by our sides. It doesn't matter which side you do first, but you're going to bend over to the side, back up, and over to the other side. We're going to do 5 in each direction. Again, just going as far as you can. Okay, we'll do them all together. So if we start at the front, we're going to come down, just go as far as you can, and then back up to that neutral position. Then we're going to lean back, again to the neutral position, hands down by our sides, drop one hand down the side of the leg, back up, and then over to the other side. So that's 1 repetition. So now we'll go for our second. So again, we're going to come back down the front, nice and slowly and controlled. And then this time lean backwards. That's great. And then down to one side, back up and over into the other direction. Brilliant. On to number 3. So back to the front, and then down as far as you can, and back up, and then leaning back, and back into that neutral position. Hands down by our sides, and we'll go over to one side and back up, then over to the other side and back up. And now for number 4, back to the front, leaning forwards and back up. Hands on our hips, and we'll lean backwards, back to our neutral position and down to one side and back over to the other direction. Brilliant, last one now, hands back on the front. We're going to lean down as far as we can, back up to the middle, hands on our hips and lean back to the middle, and then this time we'll drop down one side, back up and then down to the other side. Okay, that completes our warm-up. So if you want to go and grab a bottle of water ready for our exercise class, and we'll get started. Okay, so this exercise is the chin to chest stretch. So for this one, we're going to have a chair and we're going to take a seated position. You can do it in standing as well, but just for comfort, we'll do it on a chair. So you're going to take a seat. From here, you're going to keep the shoulders down. You're going to bring the chin towards the chest. And then if you can, so if it's not feeling like a stretch at that point, you're going to bring the hands up to the back of the head and just apply a gentle pressure. So you're going that little bit further. And we're going to hold this for 20 seconds. We'll do it 3 times through. And that's it for this exercise, okay? So into that position, so chin down and then gentle pressure with the head, and off we go for 20 seconds. That's great. Breathe in nice and slowly in this one. Trying to relax into the stretch if we can. Nice deep breaths. Okay, and then come out of the stretch. Okay, we're going to take a couple of seconds break. If you feel like you need a little bit longer, then make sure to pause the video and then just rejoin when you feel ready. But if not, then we're going to go again. So we're going to bring the chin down to the chest, and then with the hands, if it's not feeling like a stretch at this point, we're going to bring the hands and add that extra bit of pressure. And off we go for 20 seconds. You should be feeling that nice gentle stretch down the back of the neck. Remember with these stretches that we shouldn't be feeling pain, it should just be a gentle stretch. If you're feeling pain, we might be going slightly too far, so just come up out of the stretch slightly if that is the case. Okay, and then relax from there. Brilliant. So as we did before, we're going to take a couple of seconds rest before going again for our 3rd and final time through this stretch. If you need a little bit longer, then make sure to pause the video and then come back when you are ready. If not, then let's get back into the position, bringing the chin to the chest, lifting the hands and applying that gentle pressure, and off we go for 20 seconds. So just going as far as you feel comfortable with at the moment, making sure we're just getting that gentle stretch down the back of the neck. We're not getting any pain. Nice deep breaths. Okay, and then relax from there. Brilliant. So that's it for this exercise. We're going to take a 20-second break now. If you need a quick drink of water, make sure to get one, and then we'll come back for the next exercise. Okay, our next exercise, we're going to be doing a stretch for this one. We're going to be stretching the muscles across the back of the shoulder and down the back of the arm. You can do this stretch either standing, sitting in a chair, kneeling down, however you feel most comfortable. I'm going to kneel down for this one, but like I said, you can do it in any position. So what we're going to do, we're going to go one arm at a time. We're going to do 15 seconds hold in each of these positions, and we're going to do them both 3 times through, okay? So let's start with our right arm. So you take the arm out in front of you. With the left hand, you're going to hold on just below the elbow, and you're going to very gently pull the arm across the body, just going as far as you can, staying within that comfortable sort of range of movement, feeling that gentle stretch, and we'll hold for 15. Off we go. So breathing in nice and slowly. Like we said, it should just be a gentle stretch down the back of the shoulder and down the arm. If you're getting any pain, it might mean that we're just pulling a little bit too much, so just relax. Okay, and come down from there. So we're going to do the exact same stretch, just on the opposite arm this time. So left arm out, take the right hand, hold on just above the elbow, and gently pull the arm across as we stretch the back of the shoulder. Off we go. Great, trying to relax into this position if you can, whilst we get that gentle stretch. That's great. Okay, and relax from there. So this time, exactly the same thing, we're just going to swap back to the original side. So right arm out in front, take the left hand, hold just below the elbow, and gently pull across, just going as far as you can. Off we go. Very good, being nice and gentle when we bring that arm across, not pulling too hard with the opposite hand. Okay, and relax there, and over to the other side. Okay, so left arm out this time, take the right hand, hold on just below the elbow, bring the arm across, and let's hold for 15. Nice slow breathing. Very good. And relax from there. Okay, one more on each side left. We're going to take the right arm forwards, hold on with the left hand just below the elbow, and let's pull across, and let's hold for 15. That's great, and relax from there. Okay, last one now. So we're going to take the left arm out in front and pull across with the opposite hand, and let's hold for 15 seconds again. Trying to relax into this position as much as you can. Feel that gentle stretch down the back of the arm and down the back of the shoulder. Remember, if we're feeling any pain, just release slightly from the stretch. Very good. Okay, and let's get ourselves back into our standing position. That is the end of this exercise. So we're going to have 20 seconds before we go into the next one. So if you need a drink or anything like that, make sure you grab one, and we'll move on to the next. Okay, so this exercise that we're doing now is called the cat and camel pose. There's quite a few instructions that go along with this one, so I'll show you what we're doing first and then we can get started together. We are back down on the mat for this one, so again, take your time just to get down to the mat and pause the video if you need to. We're going to be in all fours again, so we need the hips directly above the knees and the shoulders directly above the hands. So for the camel position of the movement, we sort of want to try and make our back into a hump. So you're bringing the head down towards the mat and pushing your back up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to move into the opposite movement. So you're going to try and lift your head up and try and drop the rib cage down towards the floor. And then we're going to come back up into our camel position. Okay, so one repetition is when we've done the cat and the camel, and we're going to do 10 repetitions, have a break, and then we'll do 10 repetitions again for our second set. With this one, just go as far as you can into each movement. It might not feel like you're moving a lot, and that's absolutely fine. Over time, that will get more and more. So into our all fours position. We'll start off with the camel. So we're going to come up into the camel, and then back down, lifting the head into the cat position, and back up into a camel, and back down into the cat. Good. Into the camel position, lifting that rib cage up, and then coming down into that cat position. Okay, that's 3. So we're going to go up into our camel, nice and slowly between these positions. We're just trying to mobilise the spine. That's it, this is number 5. So we're halfway there. If you need to have a rest, then just pause the video, have a rest. Okay, that's number 6. So we've got 3 more. That's it, number 7. Good, just moving nice and slowly at your own pace and just going as far as you can. Dropping those ribs down for the cat position and pulling them up for the camel. Good, and let's do 1 more. And down to that cat position, lifting the head. Okay, and relax from there. So we're going to take 20 seconds for a break. If you need a quick drink, then grab one, and then we'll come back for our second set. Okay, back into our second set. We're going to do exactly the same again. So we're going to go back into that tabletop all fours position. Hands directly under the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. And then let's start in our camel position. So we're going to pull that rib cage up towards the ceiling and drop the head. And then we're going to go for the opposite into our cat position. Push the ribs towards the floor and lift the head. And then back into our camel. And down into that cat position. That's 2. Up into that camel position, pulling the ribs up. And dropping down into the cat, remembering to lift the head. And onto our 4th one. And back into that cat position. Okay, into our camel. And back down, that's halfway, that was our 5th one. So pull those ribs up, drop the head for the camel, and then switch over, lift the head. And we should be feeling that mobilising the spine. Good, and 3 more. Make sure we're breathing throughout this exercise. Okay, and 1 more. So up into the camel as much as you can, bringing that ribcage up, and then dropping down as much as you can, lifting the head. Okay, well done. And just take your time to get back up to your feet. That's the end of that exercise. So we're going to have another 20-second break. If you need a drink, go and grab one, and we'll be back for our next exercise. Okay, for this exercise, we're going to be doing the lower trunk rotation. This one is a stretch as opposed to a strengthening exercise. So we're going to be going a little bit slower on this one and doing some holds in certain positions. For this one, we're going to be down on the floor on our backs. So just take your time getting down to the floor. If you need to hold on to something, that's fine. If you need to pause the video whilst you get in that position, that's absolutely fine. Once we're on the floor, make sure we're on our soft surface. We're going to have our hands out to the side for this one. And then from here, what we're going to do is lift one knee. It doesn't matter which one we do first. We're going to lift up into this position where we've got the hip at 90 degrees and the knee at 90 degrees. And then we're just going to very slowly take the knee across the body over to the other side, just going as far as you can. We're going to hold there for 15 seconds. Off we go. Make sure we're really focusing on that slow and steady breathing on this exercise. And just go as far as you can. As you can see, I can't get my knee all the way to the floor. That's fine. If you can get the knee all the way to the floor, then that's great. If you can't, that's also fine. Just make sure that our shoulders are flat on the floor for this one. Okay, and then come back up into that neutral position. Drop the leg, pick the other one up, and then we'll go over to the other side. That's it. Keeping the shoulders flat on the floor. Just go as far as you can. If you feel like you're rotating and the shoulders are coming up off the floor, then it maybe means that we're going a little bit too far. That's good. Okay, and then back up into that neutral position. We're going to do 2 more on each side. So we'll take our first leg up into that 90-degree angle, remember, and then slowly just take the knee over. Once you get to as far as you can, off we go. We're going to hold for 15 seconds. Nice, slow and steady breathing on this one with it being a stretch. That's great. And then slowly come back up into that neutral position. Okay, let's swap over to the other side. Knee up into that 90-degree angle, and then slowly drop down over. You should feel this stretch in the lower back. It should just be that gentle stretch, not any pain. If we are feeling pain, we might just be going too far with this one, and just bring the stretch slightly back if you are feeling any pain. Okay, and then come back up into that neutral position, and we're going to swap legs and go over to the other side. That's great. Nice steady breathing. Feel that gentle stretch. Try and relax the muscles into it if you can. Okay, and back up. And the last one now, so we're going to lift the leg up and rotate over just as far as you can. Like I said, you should feel this stretch down into the lower back. You might feel a little bit of stretching into the glutes as well. Okay, and come back up from there. And then just at your own pace and very slowly, we're just going to come back up into our standing position. Okay, we're going to take 20 seconds then before our next exercise. So go and grab yourself a drink and we'll come back for the next one. Okay, so this exercise that we're doing is called supine knee to chest. All that means, supine is the way that we're lying, so that means that we're lying on our backs, and knee to chest is the movement that we're going to be doing with our legs. So we're going to be lying flat on our backs on the floor for this one. So take your time getting down to the floor. If you need to pause the video whilst you're doing so, that's absolutely fine. Once we get down onto the floor, we're actually going to lie with our legs out flat and lying flat on our back, like so. This is a stretch, this exercise, so we're going to be holding positions on this one. We're going to lift one knee up towards us. You're going to interlock your hands and try and put them around your knee if you can. If you can't reach there, that's absolutely fine. Just hold on to the back of the thigh. And then what we're going to do is try and pull the knee towards our chest, as it says in the name, and we're just going to hold for 15 seconds. Okay, off we go. Making sure that we're breathing nice and slowly on this one because it is a stretch. That's it. We're just holding for 15 seconds, so not too long, and we're going to do that 3 times on each side. Okay, and then relax from there. Swap over legs, so we're going to bring the other leg up. Remember, if you can, interlock your fingers and put them over the knee. If you can't, that's absolutely fine. Just hold on to the leg and then pull that knee in towards you just as far as you can. Obviously, as with all the exercises we do, we don't want pain, we just want a bit of a stretch. So we're going to pull it in to where it's comfortable, and let's hold for 15 again. Off we go. Really focusing on that breathing now as we're coming towards the end of today's class. So just focus on that. Nice and slow, steady breathing. Okay, great, that's one on each leg. So we're going to switch back to the first leg. Pull in towards the chest, and let's hold for 15 again. That's it, just going as far as you can. That's great. And then from here, we're just going to slowly release and bring the leg back down. And again, we're just going to swap to the other side. So pull that leg in, take your time to get into the right position, and then let's go again for 15. Perfect. Making sure that we're relaxing the rest of the body. So we're sort of lying down, head into the mat, shoulders into the mat. Just relaxing into that stretch. Brilliant. Okay, so one more on each leg, and then we are done with this exercise. Fab. So pull the knee in towards you, try and relax like we said. That's great. Okay, and from there we're just going to relax down, and let's go on to the last leg. Brilliant. Pull in towards the chest just as much as you can, and off we go. And don't worry about how far you can get on these. The more you do them, the more movement you will get. So just keep practicing them. Okay, brilliant. And then just take your time just to get back up into our standing position. Okay, so for this exercise, we're going to be doing a standing hamstring stretch. So you will need a chair for this exercise, or something that's around the same height as a standard chair. We're going to be doing 3 repetitions on each leg, and we're going to be holding each stretch for 20 seconds. With the stretches, when we're going through the movement, once you start to feel a gentle stretch, just stop at that point of the movement. I'm going to show you a few different variations, but try with me, and when you start to feel the stretch, stop at that point, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to stand facing our chair. We're going to lift one leg up so that the heel is resting on the chair. From here, what you're going to do, you're going to gently push the knee down towards the floor until you start to feel a stretch down the back of the leg. If you aren't feeling a stretch at that point with the leg fully straight, you can pop the hands on the front of the legs and start to lean forwards just as far as you can. Obviously, if you start to feel the stretch before that point, that's fine. Just hold it at where feels right for you at the moment, okay? Right, off we go then for 20 seconds. Breathe in nice and slowly with this one because it is a stretch. Very good. You should feel it down the back of the leg between the hip and the knee in those hamstring muscles. Great, 5 more seconds on this one. Great, okay, and relax from there. So we're going to swap over to the other leg, exactly the same thing. So you're going to pop the heel on the chair, bring the knee down towards the floor until you start to feel that stretch down the back. If you don't feel the stretch with the leg straight, then add the extra lean forwards in until you do feel that stretch, okay? Off we go for 20 seconds. So like we said, should be feeling that gentle stretch, shouldn't be painful. If it's painful, then we've probably gone too far. So just come out of the stretch slightly. That's great, nice steady breathing. Okay, and gently bring the leg back down. Okay, so we've got 2 more on each leg. So let's pop the other one on the chair, with the heel on the chair, and then bring the knee down towards the floor. If you need to, hand on the leg and lean forwards just until we feel that gentle stretch. That's great, holding it there, breathing nice and steady. Remember, if you feel the stretch whilst we're upright, whilst we're just pushing the knee down, that's absolutely fine. Just stay in that position. Okay, and bring the foot down to the floor. Right, let's go on to the next one. So heel on the chair again. Bring that knee down towards the floor. If you feel the stretch at that point, absolutely fine, stay here. If not, add the lean in, and off we go for 20 seconds. And like we said before, it should just be that gentle pulling, stretching feeling, not painful. Okay, and slowly bring the leg back down. Right, we've got one more on each leg. So off we go. Heel onto the chair. Bring that knee down just as far as you can. And if you need to, then add the extra lean in, and off we go. Nice steady breathing. Try and relax into the stretch if you can. Good. Okay, a few more seconds. And back down to the floor. Okay, last one now as we go on to the opposite leg. And come down into that stretch position just as much as feels comfortable for you. And off we go. That's great, and bring the foot off the chair for me. Brilliant. Okay, that is the last exercise of this class for today before we move on to the cool down. So we're going to take another 20 seconds, get yourself a quick drink, and then we'll come back for our quick cool down. Okay, let's get started with our cool down. So with the cool down, we're going to be focusing on bringing that heart rate back down, bringing our breathing rates back down, and sort of just relaxing the muscles after the class that you've done. So we're going to start off nice and easy with 30 seconds of deep breathing. So for the breathing, I'd really focus on breathing in through the nose and then breathing back out through the mouth. We're wanting those nice deep breaths. So when we are breathing in, try and think about sort of filling the rib cage, and then obviously releasing on the breath out. Okay, we're going to go for 30 seconds all together. Off we go. So like I said, breathing in through the nose and back out through the mouth. And make sure, like we said, we're really trying to fill that rib cage with air when we're breathing in, and then breathing out nice and slowly. You might find that at the moment, because you've just finished the exercises, that it's a bit difficult to slow that breathing rate down, but just go at your own pace. Okay, fab. What we're going to go on to next, again, nice and easy, we're going to go on to some walking on the spot. So in the warm-up before, we were obviously trying to increase our heart rate with the marching and the jogging. This time we're trying to bring it back down. So we're going to go nice and slowly and just walk on the spot. Okay, for 30 seconds, off we go. That's great. So still swinging those arms like we were before, but obviously just in a bit more of a relaxed position on this one, and going a little bit slower. That's great. That's halfway there. Five more seconds. Great. Okay, this time we're going to move on to doing some hip circles. So we did these in our warm-up before, but again, a bit like the walking, we're going to bring the pace down on this one. So we're going to have the feet shoulder width apart, hands on the hips, and again, Make the circles as small or as big as you can. And we're just going to go big circles with the hips, nice and slowly. We're going to do 30 seconds all together. Off we go. So bringing the pace down a little bit on this one, just moving through the full movement, nice and slowly. We can still concentrate on our breathing in these cool down exercises. So really trying to slow that breathing down. 10 more seconds. Great, okay. For the next movement, we're going to be going down to the floor. So take your time getting down. If you need to hold on to something, then do that. Nice and carefully onto the floor. And we're going to have the feet out in front, legs nice and straight. I want you to try and keep the knees as straight as possible with this one. And then we're going to rest the hands on front of the thighs. From here, we're just going to slide down the legs just as far as you can. And we want to grip on to our legs as close as we can to our ankles. And we're going to hold that stretch for 30 seconds. Okay, so moving down just as far as you can. And then let's hold for 30 seconds. Off we go. Still focusing on that breathing when we're doing this movement. So breathing nice and slowly in and out. And we should feel that nice gentle stretch down the back of the legs. Okay, we're halfway there. Ten seconds left. And 5 seconds. Okay, and sit back up into that relaxed position. We're going to get ourselves back up into a standing position, but again, take your time. If you need to hold on to something to help you get up, then that's absolutely fine. Okie doke. Once we're up then, for the next movement, we're going to be doing some stretches, mobility work for the middle back. So we're going to have the feet shoulder width apart again. The hands this time are going to come up behind the head. And we're going to be doing 4 different movements. So we're going to be coming down into a forward position, back up and into a slightly extended position. Then we're also going to do some flexion to the side, back up into a middle position and over to the side. Okay, we might add in a little bit of rotation too, just to stretch a few extra muscles. We're going to go for 30 seconds. I want you to go at your own pace and we're just going to move through all those different movements, just making sure that we're stretching all the right muscles. Okay, off we go all together. So coming forwards, back up into that slightly extended position, and back down, over to the sides, and then rotating. That's great. And again, we're going to move slightly forwards and up and slightly back. Then we're going to lean to the sides. And again, we might go slightly over 30 seconds, but we want to get all those movements back in. And the final rotation. Okay, and then bring the arms back down into our neutral position. We're going to finish off by doing 30 seconds of our deep breathing again. So we're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth, make sure we're trying to fill that rib cage there, and then release. Okay, off we go. So hopefully this breathing will be sort of easier now. Hopefully you'll be breathing that a little bit slower. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, really trying to fill that rib cage with air. And back down. Brilliant. Okay, well done everyone. So thank you for attending our exercise class today. We hope you've enjoyed it and we hope to see you very soon on our next session. Thank you.